Hi, this is Everyday Prepper. Welcome back to the channel. I've got a slightly different video to show you today. This is about repairing my toilet. Now, why is this on a prepping channel? We're not plumbers. Well, some of us might be. The reason I put this on this channel is, and the reason I filmed it, was because these are things that can go wrong in your everyday life. Now, remember, I've said before, prepping for me personally is all about prepping for everyday disruptions. So the toilet flush button breaking on my toilet, and we only have one toilet in the house, was a major everyday disruption. So I went on Amazon and I bought, now bear in mind I installed pretty much all of the bathroom when I did it, it was probably about over 10 years ago now, but I pulled in the new toilet and I put all the parts in the cistern and everything else. I know how it all works, but I wanted to demonstrate, and the reason for this was because I looked up a new system, so I thought, well, I'll buy the new inlet system as well, the fill system as well as the flush, the whole lot that goes inside the cistern. I thought I'd buy the whole lot. It was only 25 quid on Amazon, all plastic stuff, really easy to replace. Now, I saw on the comments, because I was obviously checking reviews and stuff, that somebody was like, really, really satisfied with it all and everything else, but they paid £300 for a plumber in the UK to come out and fix it. I was thinking, what? I mean, they normally charge about 50 quid an hour, plus parts. I mean, even if they charge 50 quid for the parts, 50 quid for their first hour, that's like 3-4 hours. It's just taken me about an hour and a bit to do and check it. Probably took me less than an hour to actually fit it all, get the old stuff out, fit the new stuff. I had to clean out the cistern because it was a bit of a state, as you'll see. But I thought, I'll just demonstrate how easy it can be. If you've got a problem with your cistern and your flush stuff, if you just buy a new kit, the fill kit and the flush kit on Amazon, 25 quid, and you can do it all yourself with minimum of tools. A lot of things go hand tight, so really, really easy to do. I just thought I'd demonstrate that as I suppose an essential prepping skill. So here goes. I'll talk you through some of the bits. I have to narrate some of it. I couldn't really film and talk while I was actually unscrewing and screwing everything up together, but there was barely any expletives as well, which I was really surprised about. So it was a lot easier than I remember. Let me know what you think, and here goes. Right, this is the offending article then. This button's completely disintegrated. Plastic's all gone a bit naff. It's filthy, I do apologise. Also the cistern, as you'll see, is completely filthy inside. I mean, I don't know how many people actually lift up their cistern lid unless it's broken. You don't really lift it up to have a look. Anyway, these are the tools that are needed. So I actually only needed 2 of these: the pump pliers, which are the red and handled ones, they were opened out, the adjustable spanner and the yellow screwdriver. So I'm just turning the water off here. Turn it from horizontal to vertical. Clean that off. And make sure it's completely turned off vertical there, then just test it inside the tank. Flush the cistern and then make sure it doesn't fill up. That's the main thing. It left quite a lot inside the cistern, unfortunately, so we had to sponge that out and empty it out. When I undid everything, just emptied it all out into a bucket. So there was about an inch of water in the bottom there. But once we got rid of all that, cleaned out the tank, you can see how dirty it gets at the water line. Right, I've got to get that water out. Right, this is just another shot of the cistern, which is filled up before I shut off, or before I shut off the inlet valve. So that's the nut. Look at the state of this around here. That's the nut we need to undo, and I'll do that with them. Right, so that's the valve undone from the bottom of the fill valve. Then there's another washer or another nut that you just take off the bottom of the fill valve and then pull it out. So there you can see that's been removed from the cistern now. And there's the removed fill valve. I actually saved that because there's nothing wrong with that part, just in case I needed it to replace it in the future. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to pop the, hopefully you can see that, this is the in valve, and it's got a float valve on there to sort of cut it off. and that needs to go through the hole at the bottom where the feed in goes in, so which is that hole there. So we're going to pop that through there. It has a washer on the bottom that wedges into that hole, and then we have a nut and a washer that goes on the bottom. So we'll do that. And I'm going to tighten up the washer. Oh, the washer goes on there, and I'm going to tighten up the nut. I'm not tightening it too tight, I'm just going to stand it up. So it's kind of standing up. Right, so that's all in and installed. I need to move the ball float away from the tank, side of the tank. So it's kind of like that and not leaning against the tank. There we go. That's that. Tighten that up a little bit more to make sure it's straight standing. And as you tighten it, that washer will go against that hole and stop any leakage when the tank's full. These spindles here I've left on. I have got some new ones that came with the new equipment, but I'm keeping these ones on because they're nicely sealed. There's no leaks around them, they're all clean, and the nuts went really nicely up and down, so I'm leaving that as it is. I'll use the old ones. Right, now we need to get the flush in. I think that's a new washer for the toilet, the actual toilet close coupling, which I'm going to check and see if I can need to replace that. And then this is the flush thing, which again needs to be away from the they're quite close together. All I'm going to do is the washer goes at the bottom, and we'll just take this off. The rubber washer there, that black rubber washer stays on, and then this nut comes off with that washer there. Push that washer up so it's nice and close there, like that. So we get a good seal, and then I'm going to put that inside here. Right, that's all done. I'm going to screw this on the bottom. Right. I'll screw that hand tight. Hard as I can do with my hands anyway, because it's only plastic. Shouldn't really use any tools on there, although I do like to. And get my my adjustable spanner. I've just given that a tiny bit of an extra turn. So that's that. Right, now the other part, which is the in valve, I'm just going to tighten now. Hand tight. It's actually made it easier having these spindles still on the bottom, because I can stand it up and I can do stuff underneath, which is good. Tighten this up. It's all a bit fiddly really, especially when you're trying to film it. There we go. Right, that should be tight enough. It's all pretty much secure in there. That's me switch, my flush. So now what we need to do is take it upstairs, connect this bottom inlet valve to the water connection, and then that's that done. It's got a non-return valve in there, which is good, so it means none of the system water can backflow into the main system. I might replace this close coupling actually, just because it's nice and new, and that goes over the top of there, fits nicely, I think he says. Yeah, fits nicely over there. Shove it on the toilet and that'll be fine. And it all tightens up when you tighten these spindles up. Right, let's go and get that done. Right, there's all the new stuff installed. We have the button installed on the other side of the cistern. We have an empty tank. We've now got to turn on the water. So we're going to do that by turning on this lovely clean thing down here, and hope we don't get a leak from here. So let's give that a go. Right, water's coming in slowly. Feeling for leaks. Nothing there. That's good. Right, I'm going to open it up a little bit more. Full on. No leaks there. No leaks out of the close coupling. Tank's filling up. And it's filled the tank. Not very high. So I think I can adjust the float valve. Let me do that. Right, what I've done is I've adjusted the float valve. There's a little switch right down the side. I had to put my hand down there, flick the switch, and you can bring this whole thing up, and then you can adjust the float valve with this screw key here. So I've done all that, and now it fills the tank up. As you can see, the tank's all nicely filled, and everything else. This is the overflow pipe, so if the water goes up above that, we don't want it coming over the top of the cistern over here, so we want it to go down there, and that just flushes it then through the toilet. So that's all good. That's how it all works. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much done. So yeah, we're all good. We're all good to go. Now the original system wasn't fixed to a block of wood, so I just put one screw in. Job done. And there's the cistern all complete with a nice spanking new button, which actually works, which is great. And there's the piece of wood on top, but I just had to raise up the original piece of wood that was on there that wasn't actually big enough to screw the cistern into. So yeah, our house when we moved in was an absolute nightmare. So I had to make everything kind of functional around it. Right, so that concludes that. Managed to replace it all fairly quickly, and obviously for only 25 quid, cost me nothing. Took me an hour out of my day, and I didn't need to get a plumber in, so that's the main thing. So hopefully you found that useful. If you did enjoy the video, please give us a like, and consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more stuff like that. I know it's a bit different from what we normally do, but it's all about prepping as well, and being prepared for everyday eventualities disrupting your lifestyle. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.